Now, the truth of the matter is this is going to, it's not a sprint, this is a marathon that we're talking about. This is a journey that we must take together. Anybody who could promise you that in 5 minutes they can solve this problem has lied to you something awful. This is a hole that has taken a long time for us to get here. It will take some time for us to get out of here. However, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with that first step. This is the first time my office is hearing about the new direction that we're going. I have to, we're going to build a plane in the sky. That's not the best place to build a plane. But we don't have a choice. The economic conditions are driving to such a degree that if we don't start now, the African proverb, and then I answer you directly. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. This is stuff we should have done 20 to 30 to 40 years ago. We did not do it for several different reasons. Not all of it our fault, let's be clear. We are in a system that does not want our progress. I'm bold enough to say it. I've just lived too long, and this system has no good for you and your children and your children's children. I haven't forgotten your point, but I must tell this story. Two of the most wicked things I've ever seen at the state senate. They're closing the prisons. Prison, not enough people going to prison, prison going being closed. Up north, that's the biggest job there is. One of the best jobs. There's so few jobs up here. This place, folk are leaving the north. So if you close the prisons, their population's getting hurt. These elected officials came up with stuff. First thing they did was they increased the penalties on crime. Yes. This will keep you in jail longer. Yes. Not to be content. They got up there and they used to be a time when you were going to the parole board. All you'd have to do is get the majority of the board and you out. They made it, you got to get unanimous. You got to get out of there in a unanimous figure. Okay, done. This is not an accident where we are. This is systemic. There's a problem in the system. It is designed for you to be at the bottom. There can be no rich if there are no poor. It is designed to be that you will be at the bottom. We have to outthink this beast. It can be done. Our folk before us did it.
Yes, they did.
They had pennies and they made universities. They did it. We can do it. It will be difficult. It will be painful. Many will be lost along the way. I don't have those type of answers. I do know that that is the road. That is the path that we must take. And by the grace of God and hard work, we are going to go as fast as we can. But we can move. This time we can move no faster than the slowest person. We're going to try all to get there. But we're going to encourage the slow people to keep up and move faster. It is designed not to have a few people get there and the rest of us not, but to get as many as we can there. With that in mind, we're going to be doing programs for those who've been convicted and to try to help them turn themselves around. They deserve a way back too, and we deserve them to make up for the stuff that they've done. Both need to happen. So work with me to help design these programs and things that we're going to do. We can speed it up by more of us working together using our minds. That synergy, 1 + 1 + 1 doesn't have to equal 3. It can equal whatever we want it to. Work with me and we'll get there faster. Yes, ma'am?
Senator, I'm Master young people come out, they need a second chance. They have a lot of homes. They up there and board up there and breaking down there, and why can't these young people that comes out, young men comes out, cannot work on these homes? You would give them something else, but you give them half their sentence fee. Give them work to do. Why a lot of them not getting anything to do, and then they end right back to where they come in.
There's a program called Youth Build. Youth Build. It is designed for this type of population and others. It teaches young people how to build a home. Literally build a home. They go and take a boarded up area, they rebuild it, and then they give it to a community organization. We do have, but notice that this governor cut Youth Build. In this budget, he cut Youth Build. The ideas are out there. There's plenty of good ideas in getting out the hole. Plenty. You go around this room, you get every idea you need to get out the hole. What is needed is the unity, our unbreakable unity. That unity that the world is in awe of. When we have a made-up mind, we will cross whatever Selma Bridge that they can create. When we have a made-up mind and say we will not be disturbed, we will not stop until we see this thing through. Yeah. We must develop that again. There was a convention, your children's story again. This one's for you. No, I got it. My sister. Oh, I like it. I like it. There was a convention of mice. Children's story. Y'all need to read children's stories. A convention of mice took place. All the mice got together and they started talking. And mice started talking about what they love. What do mice love? Cheese. Cheese. They started, is Brie better than Gouda? Is this better than that? All they were talking about cheese. Then they started talking about what keeps them from cheese. What keeps mice from cheese? Cat. The cat. They started bad-mouthing the cat. They spoke about the cat's mother. They spoke this. They downed the cat. Then they started saying what they can do about the cat. Somebody came up with laser beams, another one said nuclear arms, all kinds of stuff. Finally, they agreed. They said if we put a bell around the cat's neck, we'll hear the cat when he comes. Then an old mouse who had been through this once or twice, said, if I could speak up. They said, sure, Pops, what you got to say? He said, yes, it appears that if you did put a bell around the cat's neck, you get the cat. They said, yeah. One small question. Okay, who's going to bell the cat? Who is going to bell the cat? My friends, this is the question of our community today. This is the question that I encourage you that we all need to grapple with. And that question is, who amongst us is going to bell the cat? We, collectively, you got the answer. The question is not that difficult. The answer is glaring and apparent. We need to figure out how to work together to bell the cat. Now I believe that the good Lord, sitting high and looking low, is already with you. Everything I read in that book tells me that he's against oppression. Yes. He's for justice. Yes. He's for the fatherless.
Yes.
He loves mercy.
Yes.
He's with you.
Yes.
He's told you to get out there and do it.
What you have to do.
We have to figure out how are we going to bell the cat. And the way to do it is we got to stop turning on each other.
Yes. Right.
And we got to turn to each other.
Yes.
Now my friends, I'm going to take your question as I go out the door, because I have promised these folk by 11:30 I'm going to have you out of here, and I want you all fed. And I trust that you will forgive me if I make sure you get something to eat. I hope that you won't hold it against me. All right. So I'm again am very grateful that you came up here as you slowly start gathering your stuff. I'll say it again. I'll do it differently. Gather your stuff. That's all right. We're working together. The days to come, the days ahead are going to be very tough. But the folk have said that we are going to get there. Folk have taken more pain and pressure than any of us will ever. So under those conditions, all of us are going to have to keep the faith. All of us are going to have to figure a way to turn to each other. And if we do that, we will get there. I thank my staff in advance. Some of them, of course, are all down the different hallways trying to make sure you all are here. We're going to lead your back. There's a restroom near where you're going, so you don't have to worry about that. There's a restroom. Lisa, you're going to take the rear. You're going to make sure that we don't leave anybody, because we don't do that. We go together.